That is why everyone is wrong about twin flames. Because, yeah, maybe they are. Almost all, but not completely all, almost all other places on the internet and on YouTube that you see videos of, they can't give you this harmonious union consciousness, which means that they can't give you the true thing because they don't have it. And that's very disappointing because you want to believe that. You like these people even. So that is very sad. I do not say that lightly. This has come after 2 decades of looking around and fully going through all the inner developments and then slowly coming to the conclusion, very, very slowly, that this is actually what it is like. It's hugely disappointing and very painful. And many people will, as I said, have beautiful websites, be kind people, come across as kind people, and even be able to help you a little bit in some regards. But it's not the thing. And what is wrong here? How is it possible? Well, I just thought about that. And this is number one. Their assumptions are guesses that sometimes coincide with the truth by accident. And I really don't want to be harsh, but that's the truth of the matter. So there's really a problem going on here because, well, very many people have heard of the idea of twin flames. And things are published about it, and you can like say, oh, that sounds a little bit okay. Very many people have certain experiences themselves that are somehow connected to that deeper love. That's true. Fleeting experiences. But when they then go online and say, I have the answers and here they are, they're actually guesses. They're not, because they've lived through it. And they have the result. And they channeled the information. And they have seen the result in their students. They're just guesses. And yes, some things of widespread information about twin flames online is sort of kind of coinciding with the truth. Well, that's not so difficult to sort of kind of make that coincide with the truth by accident. But that's something different than being in harmonious twin flame union and being able to therefore distill what you go through and listen, inner listening to the divine itself that tells you what it is firsthand, so that you're not guessing and it does not by accident coincide with the truth. Now, I'm actually not even a hardline person. Actually, I stand for a very experiential experience of how to get to union and how to stay in it and be in it and live in it, etc. But I have that on the basis of that truth that is actually hardline. I'm just not really that kind of person that is completely and utterly expressing herself only as logic and like, yeah, like logic. And always the same word with exact the same meaning. I am a person that more speaks from experiences and stories. But what I stand for is the lived through and channeled and known because I am there, firsthand reality. And they're not guesses. So the second reason why everyone is wrong about twin flames is they don't have the consciousness state of harmonious union. Well, I mean, yeah, that's what we, I think, already sort of landed on, right? So to really have it, you need to have the consciousness state of harmonious twin flame union. And that's a very precise happening. Actually, that's the only happening that I can see and know with you, together with you, and you will know it too, and you will feel it too. Feel it, know it. The only moment in your entire journey in which it is absolutely precise. To the second, we know this is when it starts. You are there now. What do you feel, experience, and know now that was different the moment before? Oh, now we can together see that this is actually the true twin flame. And maybe someone else falls away at that very moment. Or maybe not, but we can clarify definitively that this is the true twin flame. And there's nothing more precise than this harmonious union moment that we experience together, because that's what that is. I'm not kidding you. And that is the foundation for building that life with them, for that loving relationship, for the family that you want to have with them and build with them, for the mission business that you can erect and work in together. All of that. That is very precise and very concrete. You will experience it when you are there. So you also cannot miss it. So if people don't talk about that and they talk about twin flames and whatnot, yeah, because they don't have it. They are very much maybe in the physical world, in the material world, in the psychology, in trying to make that better and trying to make it work with a person they think is their twin flame. And sometimes they have nice experiences and relatively good results. But they're not in the consciousness state of harmonious union. It is very precise. And it cannot be missed. If you're there because you have genuinely arrived in the twin flame journey, you know that you are there. You know that something changed in your consciousness. That is very tangible for you. You know when that happened. It cannot be missed. So if people missed that, or don't talk about it, because they don't have it. And yeah, that is, that is the gift that will give you the clarity and the joy and the true twin flame, and will clarify everything for you forever after. And it's really a very solid ground to build on. And if you don't have that, then many things can be going on. They can walk away anytime. You can walk away anytime. You're not sure if it's actually your true twin flame. It is not in the joy that it's supposed to be about. You will have all kinds of psychological problems that you don't know how to solve, because you're not in that deeper consciousness state. Not that when you get into harmonious twin flame union, the consciousness state, that everything will be, all your problems are gone in a second. That's not the case. But your deeper connection is restored, through which you have everything. And then you start to roll that out. You start to work that out. Right? That's when that starts. So they don't have the consciousness state, and therefore they're wrong about twin flames. They must be at least some sort of wrong in some sort of perspectives, because they're in this consciousness state of some sort of, instead of in the full clarity of harmonious union, where nothing is some sort of this, a little bit of that. I'm not sure of the other thing. No, that's not true there. That's just not what that is. You're very clear there. And you know when it has happened. So they're wrong about twin flames because they don't have the consciousness state, and they don't really know what they're talking about as a result. Even though, back to point 1, it can sometimes coincide a little bit with the truth. All right, point number 3. It is only based on meeting them fleetingly, not sustainably, while that is what everyone wants. Yeah, because when you're not in a state of harmonious union, but you are, on YouTube talking about twin flames or something, then, or coaching and whatnot, it can very well be that is partly or completely based on something that has truly happened to them with a true twin flame. That may have been a fleeting experience, or that true feeling that came into their heart, that true connection that they felt in their heart. But it's not the sustainable relationship. It's not the sustainable peace of staying, of grounding, of building, of trust, of faith, of the opening of the door towards your complete abundance of energy and health and wealth and money and life and resources and social activities. That doesn't open there. So it's not sustainable. It's not the full thing. It's fleetingly. So they could have fleeting experiences that have been true. And even when I would present with like a person next to them in the video frame, and maybe if that person would even be the true twin flame, then still the relationship between them is actually a fleeting relationship, because it has not been sustainably set into the consciousness state of harmonious twin flame union. And therefore, it can actually not open that door to your abundance. It cannot give you the surety of the true twin flame fully, because you haven't opened that knowledge truly, even when it is them. But you have the inner experience of that assurance is not there. That's something different. The inner joy and peace is not there. Although maybe they could have temporarily a pretty good relationship in a psychological sense. But there is something missing. And that is still this thing that we talk about today, why everyone is wrong about twin flames. 4, because they are not approaching it with the inner viewpoint that can actually see. Well, yeah, that's like another way of saying the same, right? Because they're not approaching it with the inner viewpoint, they might be very busy with the outer viewpoint. So like your body and their body walking around in your life, and the fact that you want to have a love relationship with them. So you want to have them in your daily life reality. You want to have dates with them. You want to have kisses with them. You want to have an official relationship. You want to be asked to marry and say yes. You want to work towards the marriage. You want to build this home together, buy a house together. And you're very busy with the problems of the psychology that you encounter. And you find them probably very problematic. And you really go into that, maybe with a lot of psychology, and to figure out what it all is called and how they are to blame for that they don't love you enough and whatnot, because they have all these psychological things that you can explain. And that is all like the outer perspective. I'm just trying to explain what the outer perspective is. And then you don't have the inner viewpoint yet. The inner viewpoint is the point in the heart of your union, in the invisible background of where your union is related back to the divine, and where there is like the blueprint of your design, and where you can like sort of withdraw in that viewpoint and then see that there are no problems. Then you will see that there's only light. Then you will see that that is what carries you and makes it eternal and sustainable. Then you see that any psychological issue is a temporary block. Then you see what your role is in that, and you are able to resolve that fully and completely. It is an inner viewpoint that can actually see. That is where it's at. And that is the only true thing and true valuable perspective that you can have on it. And then you can still see the things that you want to build and that don't go right. And you're not blind, you're not stupid, but you see from a very different vantage point. And that changes everything, because where you see from discerns what you see. If you see from the ego, then you will be sure that you see problems and impossibilities and interpersonal wars and interpersonal goals and money goals, interpersonal goals and money goals that are related to what you think to be in your ego, which is not what you truly are. So they will also be made undone again in the holistic whole of your true journey, because it's not sustainable when it's not based on the truth of your being. You might feel like you have healed your psychology from having been emotionally, abandoned as a child, for instance. And you feel like you've healed that. But you haven't healed it from the perspective of standing in the inner union perspective. And heal what is there to be healed from there. And when you feel like you have healed your abandonment issues from early childhood, and you would then arrive in that deeper layer of where twin flames truly live, and where the inner work for twin flames truly is done, in the inner seeing, then you may see that you actually need to do that work over, but then within that union perspective. And then you will feel truly healed. And it's the same with money. If you walk after your money goal in the ego personality world, and you don't have the inner seeing, the inner perspective, then you might reach your goal. Good for you. I'm happy for you. But in the bigger holistic whole of your entire true twin flame journey, you might lose that money when you go to the true inner point of where union is needing to be seen in harmonious twin flame union, the consciousness state. And then you might see, oh, I lost it now. I need to go back to that level of abundance in this place, seen from this avenue. And that's also why I always advise for you to come do everything in these areas from the twin flame inner work out and not deviate from that. So, step into the world of coaching behind the screen and make everything all right there with the twin flame inner work that I provide, so that you step over that mistake that you might throw away resources and time trying to make yourself more perfect so that your twin flame union works better. And that might just be not the case. It might just not work out because you need to go to the place where you can see from the union out what is the money goal and how it needs to be achieved, and what is the psychological health you actually are desiring and how that needs to be built. And that's when it becomes sustainable. So 5, because they present you with their twin flame, quote unquote, and it is not true. So they are liars and thieves of your attention for it too. All right, so why everyone is wrong about twin flames? Because 5, they present you with their twin flame, and it is not true. So they're liars and thieves. Liars because it is not their twin flame most of the time, or not in harmonious union, or both. And that's just so sad, because maybe they are genuinely kind, but then at the same time, that's not kind. Maybe they even lie to themselves, like they genuinely believe in their lie. In other words, they don't know any better. But they are a thief of your attention for this lie. And that is intensely sad. Yeah. It's like a delusion, I guess, right? It's like being in a delusion. It's like being in a dream of your own making, instead of the divine dream that we all share in, that is actually the Son of God, to go back to that word of ACIM. Yeah. And these delusions can seem very real to the person themselves and to you as the viewer as well. Maybe they are truly happy illusions, but they don't unlock that secret chamber that holds all the gold of your consciousness, that will give you true and lasting soul connected joy, happiness, and even pleasure, it can be called, which is what you truly long for if you listen to your soul.